So you want to save money, huh? Well, stick around because I'm going to give you 7 tips to save money faster in 2019. It's coming up. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Business Mind. Here we talk about business tips and tricks for you to grow your wealth and get to financial independence. My name is Hector, and if you're new to the channel and you're into that good stuff, hey, consider subscribing. So everyone wants to have that extra cash in the bank, don't we? For different reasons. It might be that you're just trying to buy a car, or maybe you're trying to invest it somewhere. Or maybe you're just trying to treat yourself and go somewhere on a well-deserved vacation. Whatever the reason is, you need to have a plan. You need to have some kind of strategy to get there and to achieve those goals. Which brings me actually to my first point. Tip number 1, set clear goals. Some people are just not motivated enough to start saving money. Well, some people are motivated enough and do want to save money, but they just don't know where to begin. That's why setting specific and realistic goals is so important. Once you know why you are setting aside part of your paycheck, deciding to save rather than spend your extra money should be easier. Just make sure you have enough money set aside to meet your immediate and future needs. Here are some short and long-term saving goals everyone should have. Save for emergency, for instance. Ooh, yeah. Make Dave Ramsey proud of you on this one. Plan to save for at least 3 to 6 months worth of emergency savings. For example, prepare for any unexpected thing like a refrigerator breaking or your car breaking or anything of that nature. Dave Ramsey, for instance, he says that we should set aside at least $1,000. I think for emergency funds, $1,000 is too little. I would say at least put aside $2,000 for emergency funds. And the good thing about emergency funds or emergency saving accounts is that you save up and for an emergency fund, and unless something really happened, you get to keep your money, and then you still are motivated because you only use that money in case you need it. And so while you see all that money growing, chances are that you're gonna be motivated and try to save even more. Well, at least that's what's happened to me anyways. Another example of these short-term saving goals could be saving up for your vacations. Look, I don't always recommend spending lots of money on vacations, but reality is we all deserve some breaks, and we all deserve a break. And so if you're planning on taking a trip anyways, just at least make sure that you're not breaking the bank. Make sure that you have enough money to enjoy your time away by cutting back on unnecessary expenses and putting the money for your trip in a separate account. If you can't afford going somewhere too far or too nice, hey, remember that staycation is always an option. Now, a good example for a long-term saving goal would be, for example, saving money for your house. Now, start sucking money away for your down payment, your monthly mortgage payments, property taxes, and insurance premiums. All those things are gonna be necessary. If you start saving from now, you're gonna save so much money in the future. If you're still renting, consider finding a roommate in order to save money. Taking on an extra job could also be another way to put some extra cash in your pocket. So another good example of long-term saving goals would be saving money for the future. Will you have enough money when you are in your 60s or in your 70s and beyond that? Well, create a budget for your future self and devise a plan for saving enough money to cover bills and medical and travel expenses. Hey, we all are going to need that if we make it that far anyways, right? So number 1 is set clear short and long-term goals. All right, tip number 2, start now. And hey, it goes without saying, but if you don't actually start setting money apart, you're never going to get to those goals. And I know most people think in saving money only when you get substantial amounts of money in your pocket. Maybe when you get a paycheck and if you have the chance to set $500 apart at once, that is great, that is nice, and that is good. I'm not saying anything different. But while that is great, don't underestimate the power of the day-to-day saving. Sometimes it would seem like saving a few bucks here and there is not even worth it, but remember that saving something is better than failing to save anything at all. And the sooner we develop this habit of saving, the better you'll get at it. So start small and save often. If you can't set aside 1 or 2 grand this month, try saving 20 bucks per week. Because if you wait until the end of the month and try to save what is left over, chances are that nothing is going to be left over. And even when there is no consistency. So flip that around and establish the habit of saving money now. Tip number 3, automate your savings. One of the easiest ways to meet your short and long-term goals is to make saving money something that happens automatically. Look, I can't even tell you how much easier this will make your life. Like, you can set up direct deposits, so a portion of every paycheck you get will automatically go into your saving account. If you haven't signed up for your 401k or another employer-sponsored retirement plan, you should change that so you are making contributions every time you get paid. Open a traditional or Roth IRA. Look for a firm that lets you make automatic contributions like a TD or Ameritrade or Fidelity. Also, if you're looking for other ways to save money or to automate your savings, try using an app like Acorns or Digit that will save money for you so that you don't have to think about it. Or use a cashback credit card that will let you save money every time you use it. There are different ways, but the idea is you have to set a plan to automate your savings so you don't have to be stressed and think about it and care all the time about doing the same things over and over every month. Just automate it. All right, tip number 4. This is a good one. Put your savings in the right place. I wish somebody would have told me that before. Look, I'm trying to correct my current situation right now because as I've stated in past videos, I was and I'm still, for different circumstances, banking with Wells Fargo. But by no means I would recommend them as the best or even as a good option for that matter to saving your money. Like, I don't mean to bash on them. Well, maybe I do. But I'm just going to say that my interest rate on my saving account, it's no. Take that back. It's 0.01. That's the right number. That's the correct number. And that is just ridiculous. Like, that's insane. That's too low of an interest rate for a saving account. That doesn't even compensate inflation. That's too bad. But as for you guys, you're still in time. Well, try to put your savings in the right place. If your saving account pays less than 1%, you are missing out on the opportunity of earning more interest for that money and reach your saving goals faster. Like the best savings accounts right now, they're offering over 2% annual percentage yield. Yes, that's like over 2% annually. Many of the top saving accounts actually require very low minimum deposits, and they don't even charge monthly maintenance fees. Do you hear that, Wells Fargo? Wells Fargo. Okay. All right, we have banks like Ally Bank or CIT Bank or Citibank. But listen, if you want to put your money in the highest APY rate, look, Popular Bank right now it's offering a 2.55% of annual interest rate. That is insane. Yes, now August 2019. Yes, Popular Bank. I don't know how good of a bank that is. And actually, hold on a while. I'm gonna make another video. So if you're watching this video close to August in 2019, chances are already made it. So look up for that video on the best saving accounts in 2019. But if you haven't, just go to their website and check it out because that is insane. 2.55%. Do you hear that, Wells Fargo? Okay, let's stay on track. Consider opening a CD. If you're putting away money for a short-term goal, or if you don't mind tying up your funds for a while, maybe a year, set up a CD, and that way you will take advantage of the power of compound interest. Remember to look for an account that indicates that the interest compounds daily rather than monthly. That way you are earning the highest amount of interest there is. And there are several websites that you can use to compare rates on saving accounts and CDs. I personally use Bankrate. It's really good, and you can educate yourself on their website too. So go ahead and look it up. All right, tip number 5, budget and track your spending. It is critical to know where your money is going after your payday, particularly if you're trying to develop better financial habits. Look, I don't really know anybody who really like to track their expenses, but it is such an important undertaking to help you understand what you could potentially save or what changes you need to make in order to save and to achieve those goals. Keeping track of what's going in and out of your bank account is easier than ever thanks to the countless number of financial apps like Unit or Intuit or Pocket Guard, Whaley, etc. By the way, I'm gonna make another video on these apps. When? As soon as you hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, because I really need it. I need to grow this channel, guys, so I know we're halfway, but hit it right there, right now. So find an app that will help you save money for you. Just make it automatically. We talked about it already. And there are so many apps. So you have to develop a spending plan and come up with a method, a strategy that will help you keep tabs on how you are using your money, your hard-earned money. It's incredible, but a simple change in your expenditure or your spending routine can affect your finances so much. Look, like a simple change like making your coffee or your own coffee instead of giving your money to freaking Starbucks. That can make a huge of a difference. Like I personally spend around $6, I guess, every time I go to a Starbucks or a coffee shop. Yes, Starbucks is not sponsoring this, but yeah, I go a lot to Starbucks and I do spend a lot of money in coffee. I'm Honduran, so I'm a coffeeholic kind of thing. But I learned that you can save so much money just by making your own coffee. And if you go to work, of course, hopefully you do, what about making your own lunch instead of buying lunch every day? That can save you tons of money. And it's so important, even using your own transportation. Like if you live in a city like New York or Chicago or places where transportation is efficient, then you should use transportation like public transportation. I don't see why not. Unless you live in rural areas like in Texas somewhere where you can't really get a bus or you can't really get a cab anywhere. So you really need a car here. But anyways, if you have the chance, just use public transportation, make your own lunch, make your own coffee, and just save money. It will help you tons. You have no idea. Like you really don't. Just don't waste more money in Starbucks for a month and you'll see how much money you can keep in your pocket. All right. So budget, track, and adjust your spending habit if necessary. That's tip number 5. So tip number 6, another one that will make Dave Ramsey happy, and that's courtesy of his book, Pay Down and Manage Your Debt. That can hold us back and prevent us from achieving other financial goals. But if we can pay down our debt more quickly, we'll be able to have more money that we can set aside for the future. Now, you want to be wise with managing your debt, though, because there are good debt and bad debt. What I mean is that there's these two types of debt, right? So good debt would be something like what Robert Kiyosaki says, something that is an asset, something that you did get a loan for, but this is producing your money. Like a good example would be a house mortgage. Not necessarily where you're living, but maybe you're invested in real estate. And if that investment is producing you more money than when you're paying for the mortgage, then it's just fine to keep that loan, keep that debt, because it's good debt. What you have to focus on, though, is getting rid of that junk and bad debt. Debt like credit cards or car loans or even student loans. Those are the kind of debt that you don't want to, because it does nothing else than sucking up your money every month and is holding you back from saving more efficiently. Also, remember that making progress towards paying down debt and making saving money a priority can also improve the way that you feel about your financial status, and it will motivate you to keep working and working towards financial security and financial freedom. It's powerful when you start amassing these big amounts of money because you have been disciplined enough to save money. It will motivate you to keep doing it, and it will create this snowball reaction in yourself that it will help you. It will help you. So just do it. Okay. All right. Tip number 7, guys. Oh, number 7. So adjust your tax withholdings. Now, there's something here because getting a big tax return every year isn't necessarily a good thing. And I know it sounds a little counterintuitive, but depending on what your situation is, you could be paying the IRS more than you should. Like, I know you might think that it's not as important because you're gonna get your money anyways later during the year, but there is something here because I think you should take a look again at your W-4 and make sure that you're claiming all the allowances that you're entitled to and that you are not overpaying the IRS. Why? Because when you overpay the IRS, it's essentially like letting Uncle Sam borrow money from you without paying any interest. Now, if you don't have any project or if you don't have any investments and if you just want to, put your money in a saving account anyways, it's just fine. But what if you have a project? What if you want to invest that money? If you could be making a profit with that money that you have now with the IRS and you are going to get it until later during the year. Now, you're probably going to have to go and borrow money from the bank. Well, will lead you to have to pay interest on that money, and you could potentially save all that, debt if you had the money that you are overpaying in interest and taxes. So I hope you get my point. Just make sure you are not overpaying the IRS, you're not overpaying taxes. Try to adjust and get it as best as you can, and just pay what is due to you to pay, and you claim what you are entitled to claim in allowances. Okay? Let's do that. And because I'm really nice and because I really like you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, I'm gonna give you a eighth tip, right? So tip number 8 is just say no. Look, guys, no could be a super, hyper, duper powerful word, and it can save you tons of money if you use it right. If you are tempted to spend more money than you should, just walk away. I know there's nothing wrong with enjoying life and going out with friends and family, but also think that there's nothing wrong with living frugally and saving up some money and cutting down on those going out with friends and going out with your wife or going out with your girlfriend if you're not married yet. And turning down some invitations every once in a while, and limited the number of days that you go out for dinner and movies and all that stuff. And you know what? It will eventually pay off. And you understand in maybe 6 months or a year, when you are saved up all that money from all those expensive restaurants or going out to the movies. Don't buy popcorns. Gosh, it's so expensive. All those little things that you don't consider like big expenses. If you live frugally or a little more frugally, guys, you're gonna save so much money just by saying no to all this going out with friends and your wife or whatever. So don't be afraid. Even I would recommend you guys, like something that I usually do, like I'm just sincere with my friends and my wife and my family. I'm just telling them, hey, I'm on a budget right now, and I have a goal. I'm on a mission. Like I'm saving money and I have this goal, so please help me out. And usually what's gonna happen is that your friends are gonna be understanding of your situation and what your goals are. If they really love you, if they're really around you because they care for you, they're gonna understand that. And most likely, it's really, it will happen probably. They're gonna join your efforts too. Who knows? They might be becoming your saving partners or something like that. So anyways, just learn how to say no, and that will pay off itself in the short term. I can guarantee that. All right, guys, so this is it for today. I hope, guys, you have enjoyed these tips, and I hope that it will help you keep some money in your pocket this year and future years and the rest of your life. And if you enjoyed it, if you are thankful for this wonderful video that took me like 7 hours to make because I'm so terribly bad at writing scripts, Well, if you are thankful for that, guys, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, hit that notification bell. You see it down there? Hey, if you like this content, you better hit it because I'm gonna be posting it weekly and you don't want to miss all those episodes and good stuff about money, financial education, and how to keep money in your pocket. So this has been Hector, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!